Twins. I didn't see them coming. I have obligations. Cute obligations, but obligations. I need to rethink the core of my portfolio. What I really need is sleep.
Introducing the iShares Core, building blocks for the heart of your portfolio. Find out why 9 out of 10 large professional investors choose iShares for their ETFs. iShares by BlackRock. Call 1-800-iShares for a prospectus, which includes investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Read and consider it carefully before investing. Risk includes possible loss of principal.
When you want to give your immune system some support, try Airborne. With 14 vitamins, minerals, and herbs, like zinc, echinacea, ginger, and a blast of vitamin C. Airborne, real immune support in effervescent and chewables.
Big benefits for your heart health and more in one small pill. Schiff Mega Red Omega-3 Krill Oil, the better omega-3 choice. It absorbs faster in your body than fish oil with no fishy smell or aftertaste. Try Schiff Mega Red today.
CMA Country Christmas. Thursday, 9/8 Central on ABC.
It's Empire's buy one, get two free sale. When you buy carpet with installation for one room, you can get carpet for 2 rooms free. You choose the carpet, you choose the colors, you choose the rooms. Plus, pay no interest for 1 year. Don't miss it, it's a fabulous offer. Buy 1 room of carpet, get 2 rooms free. Call Empire today.
800-588-2300 Empire. Today.
They're so beautiful, my little pookie wookie.
They are beautiful, my snookum wookoos. I'm sorry. I love love.
Surprise a loved one with these 3/4 carat diamond earrings, now $2.99. Get these beautiful 1 carat diamond earrings, only $1.99. Or your choice 1 carat diamond necklace, earrings, or ring, just $2.99. Only one star can help you find the right gift. The Jewelry Store at Macy's.
6-7 Sandy Hook School. Caller's indicating she thinks there's someone shooting in the building.
I thought we were all gonna die.
We all hid into my teacher's office, and it was scary, and we had to hide there.
Those who died today were children. Beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old.
We're confident that we have the shooter in this incident.
My heart goes out to anyone who knew them and was a part of their lives. I just can't imagine.
And welcome back to a special 1-hour edition of Nightline. I'm Cynthia McFadden, reporting from Newtown, Connecticut, near the Sandy Hook Elementary School, the site of an unthinkable tragedy that played out this morning. At least 20 young children and 6 adults shot and killed here in less than 30 minutes when a 20-year-old gunman went on a rampage. Tonight, we know that so many people across the country are facing a difficult challenge. How to explain something so horrible to the children in their lives? ABC's Juju Chang spent the day consulting with the experts.
I was in shock.
It was terrifying. I'm still terrified. I think I'm still in shock.
When adults are left speechless by traumatic events, it's hard to imagine what's going on in the mind of a child.
We are continuing our breaking news coverage.
Adults often gorge on media images, trying to glean facts, gain perspective.
What was the motive of the alleged shooter? Why would he do this?
To make sense out of a senseless event. But for children, it can have the opposite effect. Today, psychologists and pediatricians are strongly urging parents to shield their school-age children from too much exposure to the news.
For really young children, they can be confused and think that this is happening over and over and over again. They don't necessarily know that it's on loop. For older kids or kids who are in who are around 8, 9, 10, they might sort of just be inundated with anxiety and people's fear and people's stress, and it can overwhelm their capacity to cope.
Elementary school is supposed to be a safe, innocent place, but today's shooting shatters that notion for parents. If your children are old enough to ask questions, instead of talking to the kids, try just listening.
Start by asking them, what do you know? How are you feeling? Ask open-ended questions so that you can start from there. A lot of times we think they want to know lots and lots of information that adults want to know, but children don't necessarily have the same questions or have the same needs.
When they do ask questions, don't hide from their concerns, but try not to over-answer either.
And that just can heighten their anxiety?
Or confuse them. It could make them more anxious. It could plant seeds, maybe ideas that hadn't occurred to them.
While we don't want to hide our emotions, try not to be overly emotional either in front of the kids.
Because kids get their cues from their grown-ups.
We look to grown-ups to interpret situations for us. It's called social referencing. It's what kids do. So we're all sort of being watched, and kids are looking to us to let them know, how should we be reacting to this?
And so if parents are overreacting?
Understandable, but try to share your sadness and your anxiety and your fear and your anger with other adults and shield children from those conversations.
Mental health experts told us they've learned a lot from the experience of 9/11.
A number of children were traumatized who had no direct contact with 9/11, but rather watched the media extensively. And for those children, a term was coined called secondary terrorism.
For parents, it's a delicate balancing act, calibrated to each child's personality. Is my kid anxious? Is she fearful?
Right now, you're going to see a lot of anger, you're going to see a lot of sadness, a lot of tears. But over time, watch for these kinds of things. Watch for children who are having trouble sleeping or eating, kids who can't focus, they can't go to school, they can't resume their normal activities, or children who are just obsessed with worrying. All they can think about and talk about is this event. Those kids, you're going to want to get them some special help.
Reassure them that they're safe. The images can be haunting. Explain in concrete terms that the police and teachers are working to keep schools safe, and explain that this is a very, very rare event.
Parents are able to put it in perspective. Like, they know the odds are incredibly long that their child's school is going to have this kind of incident, and yet kids might not know that.
That's right. We develop thinking errors like that sometimes after a trauma, and kids are especially prone to it. They're especially prone to what we call magical thinking or associative logic. So if it happened in a kindergarten classroom, it'll happen in another kindergarten classroom.
You have to correct their magical thinking.
That's right.
But the professionals we spoke with told us that the best comfort may not be verbal.
There's a superb body of research, from animal research to human research, research with premature babies. And what this all comes to is that the touch, the comforting, has strong biological effects. And so it's not just a cliche of parenthood, it's wisdom through the ages that has now science behind it.
An idea endorsed by President Obama earlier today.
This evening, Michelle and I will do what I know every parent in America will do, which is hug our children a little tighter. And we'll tell them that we love them.
So when words fail us, never underestimate the power of an embrace.
Every parent knows that school can be a source of anxiety, too, for young kids regardless. I spent the day interviewing those trauma experts and child psychologists, and they all say the same thing. Kids depend on parents to feel safe. So while it may not be appropriate to hold a school assembly, which might just increase fears, schools are a source of community, and parents should check in with their teachers and administrators to see how their kids are responding. But as a sad footnote, Cynthia, Sandy Hook's school principal was among those killed today, and that community will need a lot of support moving ahead.
Our thanks to you, Juju Chang. And earlier today, we saw a deeply touched President Obama, the father of two, choked up while addressing the nation about the tragedy at Sandy Hook. ABC's Jake Tapper has been following the president throughout the day, and he brings us the latest.
The day began quietly, normally, as days like this always seem to do. There was not much on the president's schedule today. A bill signing, a meeting with U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Susan Rice following her headline-grabbing news. There was a holiday party. But a madman would make today one of the worst days of the Obama presidency. The president participated in that bill signing around 12:30, but by the time the press secretary came out for the daily briefing a few minutes later, the news, that horrifying news, about the reality of the shooting clearly was known.
At approximately 10:30 this morning,
though the press secretary was reluctant to share any information until it was definitive.
You seem shaken. A lot of us here feel shaken.
I can just tell you that as a father, Incidents like these weigh heavily on him.
Shortly after 2 p.m. Eastern, flags were lowered to half-staff at the White House and at government buildings and military installations and vessels throughout the world.
The majority of those who died today were children. Beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old.
Shortly after 3 p.m., President Obama reacted, not as a president, but as a parent.
I know there's not a parent in America who doesn't feel the same overwhelming grief that I do.
It was an emotional side of the president, rarely seen in public. He repeatedly wiped away tears and paused to compose himself.
They had their entire lives ahead of them. Birthdays, graduations, weddings, kids of their own.
Today, the president suggested he might take some action.
We're going to have to come together and take meaningful action to prevent more tragedies like this, regardless of the politics.
It was unclear what meaningful action the president intended, whether gun control or something to do with the mentally ill or something else. The only action we knew for sure he would take was this one.
This evening, Michelle and I will do what I know every parent in America will do, which is hug our children a little tighter, and we'll tell them that we love them, and we'll remind each other how deeply we love one another.
The president later today visited with his family and then appeared at a holiday reception. "We had a tough day today," he told the crowd. We did. And there are some people who will now have nothing but tough days for the rest of their lives. This is Jake Tapper for Nightline at the White House.
Our thanks to you, Jake. And just ahead, what we've learned today about this extraordinary community as we bring you incredible images of the town banding together in the face of tragedy.